So after the feedback that we've got from our teacher, we need to change the black card that we've got at the start of our trailer into the green one that's on, because the black one's always shown at the start of the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the green one's shown at the start of the trailer. So I think we need to get rid of the black one and get a green one that has that's specific to our age rating.
Yeah.
Like some of them say PG-13 on, and obviously we need to find one that
Yeah.
actually says our age rating on.
15.
And I think some of them say what country it's in or something like that. I think some of them will say American audiences or something like that. So we need to look and see.
Do some research about the different ones and find the appropriate one to use.
In our trailer. Yeah.
We need to make sure as well when we're editing it, because we need to edit some things at the end of it, that we don't put it on for too long, because then it'll run over the 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
we
we
need to
can
see
only
how
show
long
it.
it should.
Yeah. So usually, I think about it on trailers, it's usually there for like a good 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah, we'll look into that, see how when the trailers have used it, how long it's on for, and what it's followed by. Like, what does it go straight into a production logo?
You might do.
We'll have a look at what
Yeah.
the sequence is.
Well, there's usually like a sound bridge or something, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll have a look at existing trailers, specifically for the green card, what follows it, and how it's bridged. If there is a sound bridge, what sort of thing it is. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. Twisted Tales logos need some animation on it.
Yeah.
To make it seem more realistic and more professional, I feel.
Yeah, I think it should be something definitely twisted. Like,
Yeah.
even if it is an animation of it, like half the words rolling forwards and half of them rolling backwards, so it looks like a twisted effect. Because then it links into Twisted Tales. Yeah.
Okay.
Because then it'll fit the conventions.
Yeah. You'd be more interesting to look at
Yeah.
than just a frame of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we need to use the sound bridge that will go over from the restricted card to the production logo, to the start of our trailer as well.
maybe the news report, because we've started with that, haven't we?
Yeah, or some eerie music maybe.
Yeah.
That will play underneath the whole of the news report at the same time.
Yeah.
So we could put some music in that starts when the green card's on, gets louder, and then properly is introduced in the sound bridge between the production logo and the start of the trailer.
And then it just stops when we're all in the car or something.
Yeah, and changes to the happy music that we're going to put in there. Yeah.
The white camera flashes need to be sped up.
Yeah, they don't look like camera flashes. They look like fades to white.
Yeah.
But that's easy to sort out.
Yeah.
Just need to change the duration of them.
Because it's quite a slow flash, and then the picture that it's supposed to be taken is only there for maybe
Yeah,
8
yeah, it
seconds.
cuts off part of the
Yeah.
photo that is taken.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
easy
that's
to sort out.
yeah. It just needs to be made shorter, so the picture's left longer. Right. The news report. We need to find a new classroom to refilm that in because there's a bit of an echo and it doesn't really sound realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe instruct our actor to be
More emotive.
yeah.
Because they don't sound particularly bothered about the fact that 5 teenagers have gone missing.
Yeah. Yeah, she needs to. She's just
Like
kind of
emphasise emphasis on some of the words that would make it more emotive. Yeah. We could also put some music in the background, like we said earlier, just like to build the tension of it, because then it'd be like a slow build. If we increase the volume, it could be a slow build, and then end abruptly, because then it would go into the happy scenes.
Yeah.
I think that might be quite effective. We'll see if we can do something like that. So that might be effective.
Yeah. Because there's music already over the bit in the car where we're in the car.
Yeah.
Before we hit J. It's eerie music.
We could do a complete juxtaposition of eerie music over the news report and change that eerie music that's already there to happy music.
Yeah.
Maybe. See if that could work.
Yeah, see if it seems alright.
If not, we'll just stick to eerie music the whole way through.
Yeah.
Okay. The transitions between the image and the titles, we already knew that they weren't particularly good
No.
because we didn't finish the titles, and when we were putting the whole trailer together, we'd already saved half of it as a project, as a video, so we couldn't edit it again.
Yeah.
So when we were putting the titles in,
We just split the video.
we just
that
had to
was
split
already there.
it, so there was no sound
Mm.
running across the
We
whole
just
thing.
inserted it into the middle of the video.
So we'll have to, when we re-edit it, we'll have to save it as a project so that we can still edit the audio of it.
Yeah.
And we need to sort out the title cards as well.
Yeah. I think that'll make a big difference.
Yeah, I think it'll make it look a lot more professional
Yeah.
and sophisticated.
I found some footage that we filmed in the woods that was too dark. So maybe if we then darken that further so it's just kind of black, you can see a little bit of the trees in the top corner. I
Yeah.
think that might be quite effective.
Yeah.
Because it's like it'd be a moving title card.
Yeah. I think that'd work as well because the one that we've got at the minute is quite bright
Yeah.
and
I can't read the writing.
the writing that's on it's in white, so you can't read it and it doesn't really fit with like the dark
Yeah.
mood to the
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
trailer. So if we had a darker picture, we could have brighter writing, so it'd make it easier to see, easier to read, and it would fit in with the whole trailer better.
Mm. Yeah, because this is basically all black, like 3/4 of it's black, and then just in the top corner you see a little bit of trees, so you can put decent
So you
writing
can
in
still
there,
tell
you
it's
actually-
trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still tell it's trees, but you'll be able to read the writing.
Okay, so we're looking to see how we can,
Darken it.
yeah, and make that effective.
Yeah.
We also need to think about the positioning of the like the title cards.
Within the trailer.
Like the happy part would be in the happy scene, like the first part of the sentence where they're talking, the first part of the sentence where it's like, I can't remember what it was.
The Halloween. Yeah.
Something like, I can't remember what title card it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, the happy part of the sentence should go with the happy part. And then I think the last bit, you know, where it says, a Halloween I'll never forget, should happen just before the montage. Because then you've got, like, you'll never forget it, and these are the reasons why. Because
Yeah.
of all the fast-paced,
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
tension-building scenes that are going to happen next.
I think that'd be good.
So we'll think about where we can put the titles in.
And then just have the Vindictor at the end of it, and then you'll see if
And
you've
then
been dragged
the-
away.
Yeah, and then the last scene.
Okay.
Okay. We need to think about the jump cuts
Yeah.
at the start because jump cuts are meant to be quite short so that it looks like it's really disjointed and frenzied, but our jump cuts are quite long, like the bits in between.
It's
They're
about-
like proper scenes rather than loads of different parts of one scene.
Yeah.
So we need to think about where the jump cuts can go and maybe reduce how much time we have for that scene, because it's all of the stuff leading up to hitting the villain, getting out of the car, talking about it, and then Connor and Darwin's character carrying the villain. It's all of that as well.
Mm.
And I don't think we need all of it. Like with them running across the fields,
Yeah.
we could maybe take that bit out because they're
Yeah.
still going through the gate into the woodland part and then being in the woodland
Yeah.
with the lake. So you could take out the field part. So we can have a look at shortening that
Yeah.
amount.
Either taking it out completely or just shortening it.
Yeah, so that the jump cuts are
It's more
shorter.
effective.
Yeah.
It's a proper jump cut.
Yeah.
Okay. Heartbeat.
The heartbeat.
It does go on for a while.
Yeah.
I think maybe 2 or 3 when it fades to black, 'cause I think there's like 4 maybe.
Yeah.
heartbeats.
If we're doing it like in that scene, we've got fades to black. We could just do it on the fades
Mm.
rather than over the action as well. We could do it just on the fade to blacks.
Because I think Connor tried to do the jump cuts in time with the heartbeats, but because a heartbeat comes twice, it's a done. It doesn't look right because it only cuts once.
Yeah. So if it was a fade, you'd
Yeah.
have it on for a bit longer, and the 2 beats
Yeah.
would work better with the 2, with the
Yeah,
the
but it'll fit
duration
in
of the
time,
fade. So we can see what are the sort of transitions we can put in that section that would fit better with the heartbeats. I do like the jump cuts, but I think the heartbeat is more effective than the jump cuts are.
Yeah,
so
I can
if we
see
had
what
to
you're,
get rid of one, it would
Yeah.
be keep the heartbeat.
I can see what you're trying to do with the jump cuts.
Yeah.
And I can see why it makes sense, but for some reason it just doesn't work.
Well, we'll see what we can do
Yeah.
with keeping both, but if not, we'll have to decide which one's more effective and which one links to the plot of the trailer better.
Mm.
And then,
So we're not just putting it in just for the
Yeah.
sake of it, we need to make sure it looks good.
yeah.
Right.
The sound of the splash, when Connor and Darwin throw the villain into the lake. I do think it was effective, but the one that we had was quite cartoony.
So it was a
we
bit
need to-
overemphasised, wasn't it?
Yeah. It sounded like they were throwing a massive rock into a really big lake, and that lake is clearly not very big.
Yeah.
So we need to try and find one that's more effective and more realistic, so it doesn't sound like it's just been took off a cartoon show. But I do think it could be still effective for it to cut to black, there'd be a splash, and then the happy scenes. So we'll have
play
to
around with that.
try and find effects online or something like that
That are appropriate
that are appropriate for
for a
the
body.
yeah.
Can we Google that? Body being thrown into a lake, splash.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We might have to, I don't know, if we could take one from a different trailer, but we're meant to make everything ourselves, so probably not.
Maybe if we go there and try and throw something into the lake and take like a soundbite of that.
Yeah, create our own.
Although there is kind of background noise, isn't there? I mean, we're going to be in the woods, so they're going to be like birds and things, and there's going to be
Yeah.
environmental noise.
We'll have to see what we can find online.
Yeah.
And if we can't find anything online, we can try and create our own.
Because there's the lake near my location, it's bigger, so we could
Yeah.
throw something in, but there's a main road, there are two main roads, it's on like an L,
Mm.
so you'd be able to hear all the cars in the background.
Yeah.
Although we could edit it to kind of just play around with it and see if we can minimise that background noise.
Yeah. Okay. The tent scene. No, wait. The happy scenes.
When we're around a campfire after we've done the body,
Yeah.
it does seem a little bit long, as if the audience is actually watching the film.
Yeah. I think it should be shorter clips of like a longer period of time. Like if we had 3 short clips, one where it's quite bright, one where it's just getting darker, and one where like the fire is in like proper big, and that's the only sort of lighting around maybe.
To show the progression of time more effectively.
Yeah, because we were going to put a time lapse in, weren't we?
Yeah, but
But
That
we couldn't.
difficult
Yeah.
to film.
So if we did something maybe across 3 different scenes, but in periods smaller, like a longer period of time, but smaller scenes, we might be able to make it more effective that way.
Because that section of the trailer doesn't need to be that long,
No.
which means we'll have time at the beginning for the green title card
Yeah.
to be there.
And the editing that we need to do on it.
Some of those that might take like 10-15 seconds.
Okay. When we're in the tent, we need to cut down that whole scene quite a lot, because it just seemed like just a scene from a film. So we could get rid of the conversation at the start, just go into, is there someone outside the tent, what's happening, who is it, start messing around.
Yeah.
And we could maybe put it in jump cuts. So it's like 4 fragmented sections of like just like one question, like, is that you, stop messing around, there's someone outside our tent.
Yeah.
It could get like progressively more, like the first one could be asking Connor and Darwin's characters if it's them, and then like, well, if it's not you, who is it? And then there's somebody outside our tent, so it's like gone from questioning
Yeah.
to like full-on statements that it's somebody else that isn't part of the friendship group.
Yeah.
That could like build
It's an
tension more.
ambiguous person, yeah. Because I remember when we were first talking about it, when we were first in the scene in the beginning, he was kind of laughing, and I think I said, Brad, you're outside my tent, like outside my tent, while I was laughing. So that would be a good place to start with that.
Yeah, so it's like carefree at the start, like, oh, they're just having a laugh messing around, and then the last one could be, wait a minute, that's not actually them, there is somebody else outside our tent, which is like, create more tension. And that might be effective.
Okay. Again, our teacher said that it feels like the middle section is too long as if we're watching a film. So we just need to either break it up with some title screens.
I think we need to be more clever with our transitions.
Yeah.
I think they could do a lot more for the trailer than the actual, like, shots that we've done. Like, breaking them up might be more effective than having just one long sequence. So we could think about what sort of transitions we could put in between to make it flow more, and to make it seem like they should be there and they're not just part of the film.
Yeah,
So that might be more effective.
Yeah. Instead of just kind of jump cuts and like abrupt just cuts.
Yeah.
We need to make our montage more effective. We need to put in footage that's more relevant.
Yeah, we need, because at the minute we've just got like 4 deaths, or 4 like assumed deaths. Actually, it's not even 4, is it? It's 3. Connor's, Hayley's and Darwin's.
Yours?
Mine's at the end though, so it's not really part of the montage.
Yeah.
But then like, because we've only got like 3 scenes and then it's broken up with like scenes of the camera, someone's holding it and they're running, and like you can see the weapon as well. But I think we should definitely film some new stuff, maybe not at Connor's location but at yours, because yours is a lot bigger and there's more space for us to be able to like do running sequences and stuff like that.
It's easy to get to.
It's easier to get to your location as well. So we could do something like that. And then we wouldn't have to bring all our equipment either, because we're not going to be at the, like, it's not going to be the campsite sort of environment.
Yeah.
It's going to be, they're all split off and they're all in the woods. So we don't need the tents or the blankets or the sleeping bags or the chairs or anything anymore. So it'll be simple to be able to film those sort of scenes. So I think we should make, set out a time that all 6, do we need all 6 characters? I don't think we need Hayley's.
No.
Darwin's in it quite a bit, because he's got his scene, but he's also in Connor's scene.
Do we need Joe to be there? Yeah.
Joe will need to be there because he's the villain. Me, you. To be fair, we could bring your character back into it and put you in the montage as well. Because all Connor's character says is that you've been taken, not that you've been killed.
Yeah.
So there could still be some horror parts of it that are included with your character.
Yeah, I could get Dragula or something. I mean, we'll have to do some research on existing ones to get some ideas to be more creative on how these teenagers are going to be killed.
Yeah.
Because I think it's nice that it's clever that they're all being killed off in a different way.
Yeah. Like Cabin in the Woods and Evil Dead, I think that's a sort of cabin environment, isn't it? So we could look at those sort of films and their trailers and see how their montages look and see what sort of things they include other than the killing parts. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Okay. We done?
Yeah, I think so. Good.